Okay, let's get started. The final day of Romford Horror 2026. We've just had Bannister Doll Heist. Let's start here and work down the line. Introduce yourselves to the audience and tell us your role in the film.
Hello, my name's MJ Dixon and I am the writer and director of this nonsense.
Hello, I'm Angelique Taylor and I play Ray Connors in the film.
My name is Petrina Richardson and I play Judy, or Judith in the film.
I'm Philip Rogers, I play Leopold Frank.
My name's Martin W. Payne. I was production manager, caterer and time waster before Jack arrived.
Hello, and my name's Jack and I was here the whole time. And I played Davis Howard.
Excellent. Right, okay, let's talk about the birth of this film. Who's the best person to cover that? Is that you, MJ?
I guess probably.
Go on then.
Unfortunately. In 2018, I became really conscious that Tiana Rogers, who played Molly in Slash House 2, was basically not 11 years old anymore. I'm kind of growing up really quickly, and so I was like, okay, we quickly need to make this Molly Bannister kind of origin movie as quickly as possible before she gets too old to continue playing an 11-year-old girl. So we went and made a film called The Haunting of Molly Bannister. That's how it was released in this country, but originally it was called Bannister Doll Heist because forward-thinking, franchise-obsessed me was like, so we'll do Bannister Doll House, and then we'll do Bannister Doll Heist, and then we'll do... But so from the offset, I was like, so the second one is going to be a heist movie. And then, obviously, as the storyline went on, we killed Molly Bannister off. And so the whole idea of this really was, like, how do we earn bringing her back from the dead? And I thought, well, we'll just use a whole movie to do it. So that was the basis of it. So originally it was written with me and the original Mr. Bannister, Grant Kempster. We sat down and kind of worked the story out together with the idea of him obviously being the one of the leads as Mr. Bannister. And then for whatever reason, after we finished writing it, his schedule just got really tied up and he couldn't come. So we were really fortunate enough to get Chris Morley instead to replace him. But so it just kind of came from that, really. It was just a need to make a heist movie with killer dolls and to continue the naming convention.
Yeah. And what was your shoot schedule? How long did it take to make the film?
It was a quiet shoot schedule, yes.
Yes.
It was about 6 days, I think. It was written like very specifically, like one location, actors, and like because I knew that was always going to be important about it. So I knew that we could do it in a short amount of time because of the way that we'd worked it out from the offset. So it was about half the usual time we spend on a movie. So it was about 6 days, and then we did 2 days of pickups. We had to give JP 2 days because he likes to, extend his lines and improvise. So we knew we were going to need 2 days of JP improvisation.
Doesn't sound like JP at all. From a special effects perspective, what was the most difficult scene?
Well, you'd think it was the giant four-armed puppet thing that needed to be operated by two people, but it was when the thing comes down and grabs Will. We must have done that about 38 times, and like by the end of it, it was just like a thing on a fishing wire, and we had like someone on like a cherry picker kind of thing in the corner, with it tied to a monopod, just like dropping it down, and we just kept dropping it and going, please just land the right way, and it was like spinning round, and like we were trying everything, and everyone was having a go to see if they could get the and we really thought like this 7-foot puppet was going to be the nightmare. I mean that was difficult as well, but this little thing on a fishing wire just took forever. It was horrible, but we got there, and so like the final shot's like a blend of about 3 different takes, where like that hand kind of landed okay, the face kind of landed okay on one, so we were like, okay, let's kind of VFX them all together, and then but the rest of it is just Will lost his voice from just screaming 38 times, as maybe it grabbed hold of him, maybe it didn't, you know. So that was the toughest one, I think.
It's very frustrating, isn't it? Especially if you're just sort of waiting around for this thing to actually finally click right.
Yeah.
And then the other one was, of course, the cement mixer, which that worked really smoothly and efficiently as well, because that was how much do we need to make? Oh, that'll do. No. How do we manage to get it from tub onto actor? Smoothly and efficiently. That didn't work either. And it was just okay, we're just going to go for this, and let's hope it looks good. And somehow, on screen, it looks amazing.
Oh, thank you.
Let's start from the elusive Jack and work back this way. So tell us about how you were pulled into this, and then also tell us what your favourite part of the shoot was.
Okay, so I was pulled into it. I was working with. It was when I was working on Hexagon actually with MJ, and he mentioned that. He teed it up as you're kind of like the hero of the film, or at least we think you are, and then you get killed off really early. And I was like, great, hardly any lines. I'll take that. No, when I had a read of the script, I was like, okay, I can really get into the head of this guy. Like, he seems like the nice one of the four. So I was like, great, that's great. We'll go with that. We fitted it in. I think we were filming Cleaver around the same time as well. So because if MJ does a thing, I have to be involved. Apparently, I just love to be involved.
How it works. That's your curse.
It's my curse. Very elusive. And I guess the funniest part watching this back was obviously for me it's very obvious where we have those pickup days, because I was filming on something else when those pickup days were happening, and I had to have a beard for that, which is why in the heist I have this neck sort of face mask on the entire time. It's to mask that I am clean shaven in the rest of the film, and that would look very suspicious. Not a challenge, but it was filming with the beard and stuff. But aside from that, it was an absolute delight on the set. With there was such a great energy from the entire cast. Really these three here, but everyone else as well, that was involved with it, had a really good time on it. And for me, it went really smoothly. I was out pretty quickly, and then just helping behind the scenes. So no complaints.
Yes, and literally all the way down the line, kind of the same question, really.
How did I get pulled into it? I think I've been pulled in before, and I get no choice, really. Thank you for agreeing. And thank you for the thanks. Yeah, really nice. Really good spelling of thanks on the credit. But my favourite part of the film is not to sideline any of the cast who on screen did an absolute great job. Even Phil losing his voice during the week of filming. But the thing that I just applaud every time I see Doll Heist, Ange, your monologue is just so good. And that for me is, someone can come along into a Myco production, first time, and just go, I can kill it. And you did. So that's my favourite moment of the whole film. I've got another favourite point as well, but I'm going to save that just in case the question gets asked.
Yeah, context from MJ, he's sort of this arc of this character who's a bit of an arsehole, which he thought, actually, you fit that quite well. I think this is the way he changes. I think he said he wrote it for me with that impression of changing the character throughout, which was quite a good challenge. Favourite part was working with Will. Obviously, working opposite Will was always great, and Ange at the end doing a little song towards you. I know you. It was good fun, but I know you could see your face look quite scared at times when I sort of jumped out. But it's good fun. I enjoyed that part.
I got involved. So I came to Romford Horror last year. This is my 6th year. I've been coming 6 years now. So I absolutely love it here. And I watched Romford Fawn, and then I chatted to MJ afterwards, and then I actually applied for Ange's role, interestingly enough. And then MJ messaged me a couple of weeks later being like, there's this role. If you want it, it's yours. And I was like, oh. okay, yeah. He was like, yeah, read the script, and I read the script, and I thought, well, Judy sounds a little bit of me, and it was really fun. My favourite part of film, oh wow, there's so many. I think probably my death scene, actually, because I actually got to throw my own head. So it was quite, like, as you've probably heard, everyone just gets mucking in, so, you know, like, in everything behind the scenes. So it was just really fun to be able to just get involved in that.
Now you get ahead in the business.
Yeah, apparently. That was actually quite a favourite moment. And then, definitely, there were some really tense moments with Will and Phil, so those were really fun to film. And Will afterwards was like, I'm so sorry, and I'm like, you don't need to apologise, it's fine, because but no, those are my favourite ones.
So I came onto the film because someone actually tagged me in MJ's casting call on Facebook, and I know they were looking for someone with red hair, so I've been tagged because I looked like, I think it was your drawing was on the casting call, and then so I saw it and I auditioned for the role and I got the role through it, so I was really excited. It was my first feature film, so it was my first time like tackling that much text as a lead, so it was quite exciting for me. But I was really nervous, to be honest. But I came on set and it was really good fun. But my favourite memory is definitely Cement Day, because I remember thinking, how are we going to do this? Because there's like in the script, it's like a big pool of cement that everyone gets frozen in. And I remember Phil bringing in like a whole bucket of, I think it was flour and water, and it looked like cement. And then I had to get on a table and hold like the tube up with Isaac, and we were pouring this cement in, and it was going all down our backs as they were filming it. So I think that was probably my favourite day, because it was it was really good fun. Even though I wasn't really in the scene, I just really enjoyed it. So yeah.
So I've got one more question before we go over to audience questions, and that is, as a filmmaker who always seems to have several projects in the works at the same time, do you ever do that thing where you're like, okay, we're going to work on Bannister Doll Heist today, and then everyone's just sort of like getting into the mood, like, oh, I'm going to be going home soon, and then you turn around and go, actually, can we just do this shot from such and such? Does that ever happen?
Not as a rule. I mean, weirdly on this one, we did like a 5-day stint of pickups, and what we did is basically did like 2 days on Bannister and then 3 days on Cleaver. So there ended up being loads of crossover in that, because Petrina and Phil came to do the Bannister pickups, and then they were like, oh, we'll just stay on for Cleaver. And then I was like, oh, you fools. Because then I was like, Phil, how do you fancy putting on these dungarees and this mohawk and this stupid makeup and being like a clown man? And Petrina got roped in to be like one of the guards who got boshed on the head with a hammer. And and it just kind of works out like that. And I mean, Jack knows as well that if you turn up, you get roped in, and before he knew it, he was like, oh, you're one of the main cast now. Like,
sometimes literally roped it, sometimes literally.
Yeah. But yeah, you try not to cross over it too much. But then again, when we did the after credit scenes for both movies, we shot those in the same day.
Yeah.
And Phil was there. I think Phil and Will came down for both of them, and then they were just basically like, were in one of them and then crewed for the other one. And we had Chloe Kozza, who from Witches of the Sands, and the girl hanging from the light bulb in Hexagon. And she basically, we just kept throwing different girls' costumes at her and going, you're the body double for this scene now, you're the body double for this scene. And she was like, go off and change into another one. You know, so it was a little bit kind of... but yeah, you try to do that as little as possible, because it just swizzes everyone's heads around. But you know, sometimes it can't be helped.
Yeah, that's cool. Any questions from the audience? There's one right at the front. This is the troublemaker.
Having missed the film at Southend, I'm so glad that I saw it here, because I think I can honestly say I think it's the best independent film that I've seen at the festival so far. I loved it and I thought it was brilliant. My question's for Phil. Phil, you were very, very convincing as a hardened criminal. You had all the language right and everything else. Did you base your performance on any of the faces that you hang out with?
I mean, I think I should highlight, coming from like former chief superintendent. Anyway, carry on.
No, I didn't, to be honest. I can't think who I based it on. A bit of Jeff's writing now, I assume. With you, Jeff. No, I don't base it on anyone particularly. Sorry, Jeff. Can't give a good answer to that. I'm afraid. Thank you.
In other words, Jeff, he's like that anyway. The rest of the time is an ant. He just was natural on that.
Any other questions after that? You did you see some? No? They're all scared. Right, okay, so next, what is the next project that you are working on? Actually, down the line.
Okay. So for us, today we've got Hexagon, which is our web series, playing throughout the day. So there's different episodes playing across the day. It's kind of like what if the history of slasher movies was interfered with by G.I. Joe. So it's a fun thing that we've been kind of working on, and yeah, so we'll be out promoting that throughout the day as well. And then I think it's also showing again this evening as like a block.
It's like the EastEnders omnibus.
Yeah. So you get to watch each episode every night, and then Sunday you eat your Sunday dinner and have.
Exactly.
So get your roast in and go and watch the omnibus later on. So that goes up to our Patreon. So I think the next thing we're doing is season 2 of that, which kind of goes into like the next kind of era of like slasher movies and that kind of thing, which is the 80s era, because the first one's set in the 70s. So we're going to do like kind of Nightmare on Elm Street kind of, and that kind of stuff. And then we've got 2 features this year, which are a film called The Violent Dark, which I've been trying to make since 2007, and I've run out of time. Because as I don't know if you noticed, there's a teaser for an upcoming movie at the end of that, and that film plays massively into it, and I've been putting it off for years and years and years, but obviously if I want to make that other one, I have to make this one first. So that's a big priority for us. And then I think the one I'm most excited about is Pandemonium Incorporated, which is a sequel to our 2020 film Pandemonium. So I'm excited about all that stuff, and then we've also got Cleaver 3 coming out later in the year along with this one. So it's a lot going on. I'm sorry that I keep putting this crap out into the world, but you've got to do what you've got to do.
Sorry. For me, I'm just about to finish my 3rd year at university, so I'm working on my final show at the moment, which I'm finishing in March, and then I'm finishing university for good. But most of my time's on that. We're kind of in 9 to 5 every day, so that's where all my time's going at the moment. And then hopefully in the summer, I'm hoping to work on more horror films and indie films.
What's your final show about?
My final show is called The Back Eye Blues, which is based on The Back Eye, but a rewrite by our director Mitch, and it's really good fun. There's a lot of physical theatre, so it's something quite different from film and TV, but it's nice to have a bit of both, so I'm really enjoying it.
There's a couple of things coming up, which is quite exciting. So I've been cast on a film called Delta Protocol, which is the sequel to Buying Time, which showed last year at Normal Romford Film Festival. So I've got a couple of days on set for that. As part of the Romford Filmmakers Guild, we've got a project with Tony Wiseman and Andrew Sandell, so we're currently looking for a videographer and getting that together. And then, I'm just waiting for a few other things to be confirmed, but I'm also planning to write my first horror short this year, is the plan. So I've got an idea for it, which Phil has actually helped me flesh out. So, so I hope to get that ball rolling soon.
Birthday twin?
At the moment it's theatre, so we've got Animal Farm coming up in a couple of weeks, and then Abigail's Party. I'm working with Sarah Brown on 3 different projects. One is a slasher, hopefully working with MJ on that particular one. We've got an AI suicidal one called AI for You. And I've got a 3rd one which is a bit more upbeat, which is about domestic abuse. So we've got a few projects this year we're looking at.
A bit more upbeat. So what's happening for me? I've got a couple of shorts in definitely going to happen sooner rather than later. But the huge advantage of somewhere like Romford Horror Festival is you talk to other filmmakers and you talk to people and opportunities arise. So there's a few things that have been talked about in the last 24 hours that might well happen.
Cool.
So keep going, basically.
Such a good teaser. That's amazing. I have nothing that good. All right. It was great. Yeah, so as MJ said, we are working on season 2 of Hexagon, which I will be spending now. I've had some stuff that I've now taken care of, so we'll be able to dedicate a bit more time to writing that with MJ. They wonder how we write this thing together, and I don't know, but we make it work. The project I'm most excited about coming up, not really a film project, but going to be a dad in 2 weeks, or 2 weeks due, so that's going to be a project. Oh, thank you. I was expecting that, thank you.
It gets harder from here.
Yeah, so I'll be a lot more tired when I come back. So I'm going to take a bit of paternity leave, and then I will be desperately looking for opportunities, so call me.
Well, listen, let's give the guys a big round of applause. Thank you very much for coming.